Hi everyone, it's Jen from Pretty Little Garden. Join me today as I take a little journey with this amaryllis. I purchased some amaryllis over the holiday season. I purchased 3 of them from Color Blends, and I'm going to take you on a little journey from bulb to bloom. Here I am out in my garage and I'm just starting to gather my pots. This is a pot that I purchased over the summer from Walmart. I think I purchased 2 of them. They're a 6-inch Better Homes and Gardens and I love them. I will link them in the description box if anyone is interested in those pots, but that's what I used for 2 of them. And I purchased a trio of amaryllis from Color Blends and it was called Just Dessert. So I'm going to be potting up the 3 amaryllis here. And I have a 4th that I put into dormancy last year. It was just a red amaryllis from Trader Joe's, and I'll also be showing you the journey of that amaryllis as well. So here I have 2 of the amaryllis, and you can see this one is not looking too good. I was worried about this one because by the time I purchased them, which was November 6th, to the time I planted them, which was December 22nd, I was sort of worried because I kind of neglected them. Now here you can see this one has a little bit of green, looking healthier. This 3rd one here is actually the one that I brought out of dormancy that I had from last year. And here is the 3rd one that was part of the trio from Color Blends. So I potted them up I used, regular potting soil, and I potted them up. Amaryllis like to be kind of snug in their containers with just about 1 or 2 inches surrounding them on the outside, and you don't want to put the potting soil too high up. You want to leave 1/3 to 1/2 of the bulb exposed. And here I am just using some super moss that I had to just top dress. I always think that looks so bright and beautiful, and I'm just showing you the little blue vase that I have as well. I used a gift card to purchase that recently that I had gotten for my birthday. And here is I'm just watering them in, and I know just from experience last year that the amaryllis, they don't like a ton of water, so I really stayed on the regime of watering them 1 time a week with just enough to moisten the soil. You can see here that I am top dressing all of my pots with the super moss. I just think it adds a nice bright pop of color, and it also just kind of tells you that spring is right around the corner. This amaryllis here is called Mandela, and you see it's all potted up, and this one looked the best, I think, out of all 3 that I had neglected in my garage for several weeks. So I was happy to see that it had some green look to it. So I just watered that in and top dressed that as well with a little bit of the super moss. And this is the amaryllis that I brought out of dormancy that I purchased over the holiday season last year from Trader Joe's. Just watering that in as well. And this is my first year bringing a bulb out of dormancy, an amaryllis bulb out of dormancy. So I wasn't quite sure what to expect in terms of how it looked. Didn't really look like there was any life going on there, but I did notice when I investigated further, like looked into it, it did have a little bit of green starting to emerge. See if you can see, there's a little bit of green there starting to emerge. So that was promising. So again, this is December 22nd, and I just placed them in my dining room. This is the Trader Joe's bulb that I put right up there. Down here in the blue pot is Strong King, and right here is Candy Cream. Those are the names, and I put the last one, the one that looked the best, I thought, it was called Mandela. I put that over here on my dessert tray. So again, here's all my Christmas decorations because we were right before Christmas here. So I have my dessert table set up and all different kinds of things. So you can see here that things are starting to look promising. You can see a lot of the green growth starting to come out of that. The one from Trader Joe's, everything is kind of getting a little bit bigger and taller. And I was checking on them every week, watering them every Monday, and that's when I would usually record a little clip just to see how they were doing. Now these over here, I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. It looked like there was something trying to come out, but again, I felt like I had neglected these bulbs, like this one in particular, the candy cream. It just seemed a little mushy when I placed it in the pot, so I wasn't sure how that one was going to turn out. So you shall see as we progress forward. So here we are again. It's a Monday, watering day. This is when I took a look at everything, gave it a little water, checked on the progress, and things were moving, seemed to be moving in the right direction. And this is actually on December 27th, 2024. And I keep kind of feeling this bulb, kind of squeezing it a little on the top just to see if I can see some green coming out of the top. And it did look like it was starting to sprout. And there is the Mandela amaryllis. And that one just really looked the strongest, like I said, from what I observed. And you can see some of the foliar growth starting to emerge along with the flower stalks. And I liked the red tinge to that growth there too. You can see a little bit of a red tinge there on the stalk and the leaf, the foliage leaf, that I thought was attractive. This is January 6th, 2025, and we're making progress here. You can see this red amaryllis from Trader Joe's is shooting up some foliage and no flower stalks yet on that one, and things are looking promising. And here is the candy cream, and you can see there's a little bit of green flower stalk coming up very nicely there. And this one was the Strong King, a little slow, but still things are moving in the right direction. Mandela is looking fantastic. Again, the red tinge I just thought was so attractive. Here we are, January 9th, and I'm noticing that one of these leaves are just kind of flopped over. I'm not quite sure why, but everything else is moving in the right direction. Here is Mandela, still sitting on my Christmas dessert table. And sooner or later, I take these Christmas decorations down and I relocate that Mandela. And look at that strong flower stalk coming off of the candy cream, and even the Strong King looking more positive with that green color. This is January 30th, 2025, and look at how far we have come. That one leaf that was flopping even had recovered. It just all of a sudden was standing straight up again. And look at the growth on these two, sending up really strong flower stalks. This is February 8th. It's a Friday, February 8th, and you can start to see, we are starting to see some color and the blooms are starting to slowly open up. I actually am amazed at the size of these amaryllis. They are just enormous and so much bigger than my Trader Joe's amaryllis. The amount of blooms you can see that come off of one stalk alone, it was like 5 or 6. I noticed this bloom here was kind of seeming a little bit weak, so I was just kind of looking at that. But just amazing. And I was really so glad that I decided to, plant these up after the holiday season. It just gave me something to really look forward to, something beautiful, that was separate from all the beauty that you see around the holiday season and around Christmas. The colors, just gorgeous. This is the Strong King. And I just want you to notice the Strong King, the one that was on the left there, was starting to get a little top heavy. The red amaryllis from Trader Joe's never sent up any flower stalks, and I really think it needed more sunshine before I put it in my basement. So I will know that for next year. So this also happened on February 10th, 2025. I went and picked up my son from school and came home to this. I don't have the complete picture, but basically the amaryllis had toppled over. The entire amaryllis was just laying on the ground. The pot was untouched, and I was left wondering what happened. I don't know if Lucy had done something to it, my dog Lucy, or if it just became so top heavy that it just tipped over and fell over. So I didn't even take a picture of it because I just was so startled by it. I took the amaryllis right off the ground. I took a picture of the dirt though and brought it into the kitchen, and I potted it up immediately. And as you can see, it was getting pretty top heavy. There were so many blooms getting ready to open. I think it just must have just tipped out of the pot. So I got it back together and realized I needed a solution. So I ended up staking up all of my amaryllis. All I used was some s'more skewers that I had in my pantry, and I just put a little zip tie around it very gently and loosely, just so it would give some support to the enormous flower stalks. And as you can see, the blooms are starting to open. We're just about there, just about in time for Valentine's Day. And again, you can see just the skewer that I had staking it up. I really didn't like how it looked. I wanted to, not have to stake them up, but it just really needed some support. And we made it just in time for Valentine's Day. This was taken on February 13th, 2025, and this is the Strong King Amaryllis, and you can see it opened up and bloomed beautifully. Despite toppling over earlier in the week, it looks gorgeous. And we also have the Candy Cream Amaryllis, which is a kind of a darker pink color, looking beautiful as well. There were so many blooms that were opening up. Each stalk had like 5 or 6 blooms attached to it. And this is the Mandela, and there's only a couple that are opened so far, but it is indeed looking just gorgeous with that deep wine color. Thank you for joining me, everyone, and I will see you all in my next video. Have a great day.